not Thanksgiving in the Heinz house without the Heinz famous hot artichoke and garlic dip. This smell perfumes everything, and nobody feels at home until it is in the oven and it comes out bubbly and everyone gathers around and eats right out of the dish. Nobody even gets a plate. They just scoop it out, put it on some bread, and enjoy it, and it's all gone in a matter of seconds.
Favorite Thanksgiving food is cranberry sauce, and the reason that I love cranberry sauce is the texture, and I also like to make it where you take the cranberries and the sugar and the water and you boil it, and it's just so good because it's sweet and it's sour and it's delicious, and I don't know why so many people don't like it.
God, that's a hard question. I like everything on the plate, but I think what pulls the plate together is a really good dressing and a really good giblet gravy with a biscuit next to it and the really fresh cranberry. Those all three things together can mix with anything on the plate and really sweeten it up and make it taste like cake and ice cream at the same time.
My favorite Thanksgiving dish is mashed potatoes. They're my grandmother's mashed potatoes and always have lumps. Without them, Thanksgiving shouldn't happen.
My favorite Thanksgiving foods are turkey with lots of cranberry sauce and biscuits.
My favorite Thanksgiving food of all times is mashed potatoes. I would eat it every day.
Well, I am a Southern woman. Growing up in Georgia, we have traditional American Thanksgiving food, turkey and all that. I will say that in my family, the most important part of the meal is the dressing. For those of you who don't come from an American tradition of Thanksgiving, there are many ways to make dressing, which is a side dish that can be served on the side or inside the turkey. But in my house, you make dressing with homemade cornbread and onions and lots of other good things, and you have to make the cornbread in an iron skillet because otherwise you might as well not make the dressing. So that's the best part of our Thanksgiving dinner. Every single person in my family knows how to make it. It's called Betty's dressing, after my grandmother. And then the only other thing I would say about Thanksgiving dinner at my family's home is that my birthday, my twin sisters and my birthday, is always on Thanksgiving weekend. This year it's on Thanksgiving Day. And so for birthday cake we have pumpkin pie. And those are the two things about Thanksgiving meals in my home.
Well, in our house, I grew up in New England, and we have a very traditional New England Thanksgiving with lots of family, lots of friends, lots of turkey, lots of potatoes and vegetables and fabulous desserts. But truthfully, my favorite part of the meal is about 5 hours after it's all been packed away. And then we pull it back out and we make the most fabulous turkey sandwiches with butter on the bread and little salt, some turkey breast, and cranberry sauce smeared on top of it, and it is just a wonderful meal. And it's one we get to repeat for several days after Thanksgiving, remembering the good times we had around the table.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is sweet potato casserole, but it must be topped with a lot of marshmallows.
This is my second time having Thanksgiving in America, but I never tried pumpkin pie, so I really want to try pumpkin pie, and yeah, so it can be my favorite.
My name is Tasi. I'm from Kenya. It's my first time to celebrate Thanksgiving in US, and my favorite food is spaghetti. I like spaghetti when it's cooked with meat, fried meat. And I hope this time I'll get spaghetti with fried meat. I'll be very happy. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite Thanksgiving dish, baked potato casserole and also a fruit salad.
So my favorite Thanksgiving food is green bean casserole, but it must be topped with fried French onions. And without fried French onions, is it French fried onions? Whatever that is, it just I wouldn't eat it. So green bean casserole topped with French fried onions.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is the food on the next day. Leftover dressing, warmed up gravy, some mashed potatoes, a little turkey on the top. That's my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite Thanksgiving dish is my mother's Thanksgiving dressing. It's actually a family recipe from one of my grandmothers, and it's been passed down through the generations, and Mom makes it every year, and my kids love it, the grandkids all love it, and it just makes Thanksgiving.
My favorite Thanksgiving was the last Thanksgiving I had with my grandmother, where she taught me how to make homemade dressing and, what was that? Pecan pie. That is my favorite Thanksgiving ever.
My favorite Thanksgiving foods are green bean casserole and mashed potatoes with lots of butter.
Let's see. My favorite Thanksgiving meal would consist of fried turkey, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, stuffing, cornbread, cranberry sauce, sweet tea, very sweet. I know it's not healthy, but who cares? Like eggnog, oh my gosh, sweet potato pie, apple pie. Is there any?
So my family doesn't always do traditional Thanksgiving meals. So we have in the past done big Italian meals like a lasagna or low country boil. Not a huge fan of the turkey and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. So it's much easier to just do something that everyone in my family agrees on and we can all enjoy it together.
I think the favorite thing I used to like growing up at Thanksgiving was cranberry sauce. When I was a kid in Brazil, growing up as a missionary kid, they didn't have cranberries. And so when we would come back and spend our furloughed years, all you need is that bag of cranberries, and magically it turns into cranberry sauce. And the stuff in the can isn't that bad either. And this year I'm thinking my kids are going to want to do cranberry sauce, but this time add sweet tarts into it, mix it up, and see what happens. New kind of cranberry tradition.
So my favorite Thanksgiving tradition in my Italian family is that every year we would have the huge Thanksgiving feast, but then my Italian grandmother would also make homemade ravioli, homemade sauce, homemade meatball, homemade sausage, and we would have all of that on the same table with the turkey and the stuffing and the corn and everything else, and it was the biggest meal I could ever imagine, and it was awesome.
Hey, my favorite Thanksgiving food is pecan pie that my friend Andy Roger makes. It's great. We eat it for dessert, we eat it for breakfast, and we eat it for lunch. It's awesome.
Okay, when it comes to Thanksgiving and the winter holidays, my family and I, particularly my mother and I, we have this favorite food, and it's not the holidays until we taste this food or smell it being prepared. And it is a cranberry relish that she has. It's got raw cranberries, pecans, coconut, sometimes marshmallows, crushed pineapple, and the juice from the pineapple. So good. Oh, important. Also orange peel. Got to have some orange peel. And also the pulp of the orange and the orange juice. So incredibly good. And the smell and the taste is just not the holidays without that cranberry relish. So good for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And it's beautiful too.
My Thanksgiving favorite food is candy yams. But my family has a tradition where all the girls were taught how to make a special Thanksgiving dressing. And so we have to make everything from the broth to the cornbread from scratch. And it really takes all day to make, but it's really delicious.
Okay, I'm giving my worst Thanksgiving. My mother is known for trying different kind of things for the holidays. This Thanksgiving she did Cornish hens, and she bought some type of Indian spice. and we were all at my sister's house, and we ate dinner, and needless to say, that chutney spice or whatever it was had us all in 2 bathrooms. Needless to say, we all broke up early and went to our respective homes to the privacy of our own bathrooms.
So, my favorite Thanksgiving food is, of course, collard greens. You cannot have Thanksgiving without collard greens. Macaroni and cheese and glazed ham. Without those 3 things, Thanksgiving is just not Thanksgiving.
So I was listening to Sam's video, and I had to outdo Sam. So my favorite Thanksgiving meal would consist of lobster. It would also consist of a nice salad, and well, I like potato salad. I know that sounds weird, but it works for me.
I love Thanksgiving. Well, my mother had the most wonderful pecan pie, but I really actually love all Thanksgiving food. The best thing about Thanksgiving, however, is that you're together with your family, and that's really what I'm giving thanks for this season and always.
So my favorite Thanksgiving food is fried turkey, short ribs, collard greens, sweet potatoes, potato salad, and you have to have some rolls, at least sweet rolls on the table, homemade though. So those are my favorite.
The thing I like most about Thanksgiving is it finally makes people relax and calm down. So the best Thanksgivings to me are when there's no real schedule except for eating, and it's all my mom's home cooking or my cooking, and no one has to rush anywhere. We can just stay in our pajamas all day if we want to and watch football and eat. That's what I like the most about Thanksgiving, just downtime, family time.